Jon Jones is ready to go big against either Stipe Miocic or Francis Ngannou. Okay? I'll be ready for either of them, Jones told Bleacher Report in a recent interview. Both fights are extremely challenging. Stipe, he's the greatest heavyweight of all time. He has all the stats and records to prove that. And then Francis is just a freak when it comes to his knockout power, and he's improving constantly. Both fights are gigantic challenges, but that's what I'm here for at this stage of my career, to go big and see what I've got. And that was taken from actually a different website this time, and that website is bloodyelbow.com.
What was your favorite website?
MMA Mania.
MMA Mania, bro. Shout out to them.
Shout out to them, man. Giving us all these good topics.
So Jon Jones, go big. So we've talked about it in many podcasts.
Too many videos. Too many videos.
Yo, what are you talking about? Don't, man.
And not only podcasts.
Watch all
not
of them.
only podcasts. Analysis videos too.
Yeah, hey, there people like the analysis videos.
And they love them.
They're not. There's not too many comments on them, but the people are watching them. So we talked about how Jon Jones, he physically and verbally has communicated to like the MMA world that he's not gonna go down anymore. He's done with light heavyweight. He's done with any other division other than the heavyweight division. The way that he does that vocally is by like stuff like this. He's said this stuff in the past, like especially when he vacated his title after beating Dominic Reyes, was it? He also did it by physically by starting to powerlift. He started to put on more muscle, and the difference is that when he first was doing all this powerlifting and all this training, he wasn't making an effort, or not that I know of, to actually train MMA with that new body. He was simply just going through the motions as if he was that 205 fighter, trying to fight. He was using a 205 body to fight. Sorry, 200. Okay, he's using a heavyweight body to fight as a 205, basically.
And then you cut down, right?
As opposed to now, where he's a heavyweight fighter, training and fighting like a heavyweight fighter.
But will he maintain that speed and agility with all his powerlifting? Do you think so? Personally,
he's never been the fastest guy though. Like that was not his forte. His thing was so many tools, able to dictate the pace of the fight, range, and just weather you, right, with volume. He's never the guy where you're like, oh shoot, bro, you can't avoid his hands.
If we go off what DC said, right, in that one interview where he's like, Jon Jones, like he might be at light heavyweight, but he's as strong as guys at heavyweight, right? So if we go,
he's a big boy.
Yeah,
he's like 6'4", and now he's. I remember. Oh no, I'm gonna sneeze. So,
what's the walk-around weight?
He did. There was an Instagram post where he was like training or something. He said he was 240.
Holy, 240 pounds.
Take that with a grain of salt. Say, he's like 235.
Oh, you're saying it's less.
Yeah, but when guys say they're 240, especially when they're like trying to bulk up, you got to give them some room for
it's
like
a big cap.
Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're trying to lose weight and you go to the scale, you see 193, you're gonna be like, yo, bro, I'm like 190, 192, around that range.
I'm like 180.
and then when you're trying to like gain weight, and you're like 202 pounds, you're like, yeah, I'm like 205, 206, around there.
210. Right? At 10 pounds.
So,
oh man.
Say he's like 235-ish, around that range. That's to the big guy. And it seems like he's taking his sweet time to get that big, but also fight and train and get used to that body. He's waiting. I think he's waiting for the Stipe and Francis fight to happen, and it sounds like Dana White is also confirming like he's gonna fight in the heavyweight division next, and basically he's gonna fight the winner of Stipe versus Francis.
Have you also seen his training? If you go on the X Crazy channel, you can actually see his training. His training was he's incorporating so much of the gymnastics. No, man, of the gymnastics. He's doing so much of like he's doing heavy powerlifting, right? But this guy will he's doing work with rings and everything now, right? So
yeah, the GSP training style. Approach, but a little bit different. The question is does he does he? Who do you think he rather face? He wants to face. Does he want to face Stipe?
Stipe
Or
Miocic.
just
Stipe. Listen,
Why?
man. I don't want to say it actually because we're gonna get commented, we're gonna get disliked and called casuals, but I'd rather see Jon Jones versus Stipe, at least for Jon Jones' sake, because if you face Francis and Ngannou, you're gonna get you're gonna get mauled, to be honest.
Sometimes,
So I don't know.
like what happens with me as well, is I get so so connected, not connected, engraved. I don't know if that's a word, right? I can't think of the word.
Maybe it is. It's a word now.
So, in these guys and their records, like you don't want them to get beat, right? You're like, please don't let them get beat. Don't break the streak because you feel like it's something greater than the fighter themselves, right?
Shut up, Undertaker.
But if he faces Francis, there's a big chance that he gets his streak broken. Same with Stipe, but I know what you mean with Francis. For me, the more interesting is Francis, right? Because there's that chance that Francis throws a punch and connects. Even though when Francis throws, he like, oh my god, he never throws feints. Like I don't know if I've ever seen a feint ever from this guy.
Yo, why are you hating on my guy?
No, throw a feint. What do you mean? Like
check left hooks too.
Do something, right?
I think that with Stipe, listen, I love Stipe Miocic, okay, and I don't want to get bombarded by these Croatians on YouTube who are roasting me. But this guy is way too stiff for Jon Jones. I don't think he can stand in front of Jon Jones.
No, he has really good boxing. He can come in and out very very well. So just go back to the Francis conversation. I think the Francis one has the opportunity to be much more exciting, but it could go like this where Jon Jones like dodges those punches coming at him. He keeps him at range. He uses his leg kicks. And he closes his distance, takes him down, and then finishes him via TKO on the floor. Like gasses him up.
That's a bold prediction.
That could be a big a possible outcome. Because
but like what happens if it's on the feet though?
No, I'm saying it could go either way. Where it could be like the most boring fight where he just keeps it at
Staring
distance.
contest.
Yeah. No staring. This is a little bit different staring contest because Jon Jones will keep it at a distance. He will take his opportunity to close the distance, clinch, take him down, and then finish him on the feet. Now, Jon Jones has not really done that in a very long time against his other opponents. He usually just like sticks and moves and keeps that distance and wins the decision. But there's a chance that heavyweight Jon Jones is completely different because heavyweight Jon Jones is already saying, yo, watch out for my double leg. That could be a message, just like that could be wolf tickets. He could just be saying that for the sake of saying that, or there could be some legitimate reasons for that. He could be like, you know what, if I'm facing Francis, I'm taking him down. If I'm facing Stipe, I'm standing up. I'm just gonna outpoint Stipe, avoid his shots, poke him in the eye a couple times, and that's it.
Yeah, nice.
Are you drinking something?
Yeah, sorry, man. I was drinking a nice glass of tea. But to go on what you said, I'll give you my prediction. Okay, so I think between Francis and Stipe, first of all, because we've answered this question many times now. I think Francis will win.
Okay, dislike.
I think it'll be dislike.
Dislike.
I think Francis dislike, comment.
I'm just
blog,
your
report.
YouTube video. I'm just your YouTube video right now. I'm just
dislike.
Keep talking.
Dislike. I think Francis will beat Stipe. I think it's going to end in the first or second round. Please do not dislike. I think after that, I think we'll see Francis and Jon Jones. And I think that if it stays on the feet, I think Francis will win. And I really want to see if Jon Jones is capable of taking Francis down. Personally,
I think he is.
Like, I don't see it happening. I don't know. I don't see it happening.
You're thinking?
I think Francis has.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, if you've seen like his past few fights, I think that like Francis actually, if you look at his takedown defense, it's improved, though. The past few fights.
He's actually like doing more. But that doesn't mean that he can stop a takedown from a well accomplished wrestler like Jon Jones, both MMA and like a collegiate level. Like Jon Jones is not gonna get stopped because a guy has learned how to do a sprawl in a year or a year and a half.
Sprawl in a year.
When you
Who says that, man?
when you see Francis defend against takedowns and stuff like that, he's a lot more active than he was before. But you get a sense where he's not calm in those situations where he doesn't.
Who's a better wrestler, Stipe or Jon Jones?
Ooh, Jon Jones.
You think Jon Jones?
Really use wrestling too often.
Yeah. How about DC and Jon Jones?
DC. Tell these guys.
DC
is a much better wrestler. He almost made it to the Olympics. I think he was like a whatever. I don't know the situation, but his accomplishments for being a wrestler is much higher than Jon Jones. But even DC didn't even take him down. He took him down once, and then Stipe stood up right away. So I still think there's I would take Jon Jones to beat both of them, regardless of who he faced, Stipe or Francis. For spectacle, Francis would be a lot more exciting, especially the build-up. Imagine how many videos we could make about that. How many?
A lot, man.
How many?
I think 5. I think at least 5.
5?
At least 5.
I was thinking like 500.
500?
Yeah,
why
not?
Who's making these?
No comment.
No comment.
Stipe is also very intriguing for like the heavyweight discussion. If Stipe goes in there and beats Jon Jones, then I think there's no more discussion. No more C-level Kane discussions. No more Verdum discussions.
C-level Kane.
No more Randy Couture, Brock Lesnar. Like none of those guys. Like it's Stipe.
I'm telling you, listen, keep Brock Lesnar for Islam Makhachev, okay? You cannot talk about Brock Lesnar without talking about Islam Makhachev. So
okay, well, what does he do? What does Islam do to Brock?
Islam Makhachev takes him down and shows his high level wrestling, and then wins by, I want to say, a triangle choke. Easy.
Okay, so let Islam get through mini Brock Lesnar, Drew Dober at in March, and let's see what happens because Drew Dober is gonna come forward, and he's gonna test
do bad things.
He's gonna test Islam.
Yeah.